Hey YouTube, how are you guys doing today? Welcome back to another video. I know it's been a minute since I've last uploaded a video. It's been almost 4 weeks since my last video, and from the title below I just want to talk to you guys about how I'm doing and just being pretty raw with you guys. A lot has happened in the last few weeks, and I would just like to touch base with you guys on what's been going on in my life and some things that have changed in my life as well. I'd like to talk to you guys about it. First things first, I've got glasses. I have canceled my contact prescription and I have reverted back to glasses. It's been a long time since I've worn glasses, and I've actually had to work a way to film this video so that there would not be too bad of a glare, because I know with glasses you can get a pretty bad glare in the lenses. So I think this spot is pretty good. I'm actually in my guest bedroom today. I just have too much stuff in my room right now. I'm trying to unpack. I am home for Christmas break, but I also want to touch base with you guys a little bit about my Christmas break and how long I'm planning to stay home. So first things first, the last video you guys saw was me on my last day here. I went to church and then I ended up driving back to my apartment that night, and since then it has been almost 4 weeks. Today is December 20th. The last day that I filmed was November 25th, so it has been a full-blown month since I have picked up the camera. I vlogged a little bit yesterday, but I ended up deleting that video just because I didn't like it. I was feeling pretty upset and just not my usual self, which I'm also going to be talking about later on as well. So since that video I have moved back to my apartment. I had finished up school, finals were coming up, and you know, we had just celebrated Thanksgiving, and a lot had been going on with me emotionally and mentally, and it just got too much to where I had to be rushed to the hospital. It had come to the point where I didn't feel like I was safe in my own hands, and I told my counselor at school that, you know, it's like I've just been fighting so much emotionally and mentally, and I'm just becoming exhausted, and I'm fighting just to be my normal self, and it's not working out anymore. And I told my counselor that, and he's like, well, what do you think we should do? I mean, I don't think it's a good idea for you to go back to your apartment. And I said, I know, but you know, I would just like to try to work this out by myself. And my counselor was like, well, I don't think that's a good idea. I think the only way you're going to be leaving here is if you're in an ambulance on the way to the hospital, or if we find a ride for you to go to the hospital. And so I was like, okay. So I ended up calling my roommate Jessa J, and she drove me to the emergency room at the hospital by our apartment, and I was checked in, I was evaluated, and I basically had to wait to see a doctor to make sure that everything was okay, and that if everything was as well as they seemed, then they would discharge me and I'd be able to go back to my apartment. Well, that was not the case. I ended up being admitted into a hospital in Joplin, Missouri, which is the complete other side of Missouri, and I ended up remaining there for almost 3 weeks, hence why I have not posted a video in 3 weeks. Was because I have been in the hospital for that time, and there I had a treatment plan going on while I was in the hospital. I was going to groups, I was talking to nurses and doctors every single day, and I was just trying to get to a point where I felt like I was well enough that I could go home. And you know, being in the hospital for that long, I do feel like I made some sort of progress while being there. But then coming home, I came home, I think on the 16th of December, so I've only been home for I think about 5 days. I ended up coming home from the hospital on the 16th of December, and we are working on an aftercare plan where I plan on meeting in groups, and I plan on being with the case manager and just talking to a counselor and doing all sorts of therapies just to help me, because right now me I'm very, I guess, depressed is what you would say. Well, it's what I've been diagnosed with, is depression and insomnia. So I am on new medication. I have never been on medications before in my life, and these medications are to help me with sleeping, with my appetite, with my insomnia, and then my depression and anxiety. And I have been taking them for a few weeks now. I have not felt like they are working, but this could take 3 to 6 weeks for the medications to fully take effect. And you know, it's basically a waiting game, and I'm in the process of getting some counseling set up and getting groups lined up so that I can, you know, go to groups and just start the healing process. Because right now, emotionally and mentally, I have like a big open wound, and I'm trying to nurse it and nurture it and just take care of it. You know, it's like I have let myself come so low in depression, and that it just got out of control to the point where I had to be hospitalized. And the reason why I'm wanting to be open with you guys about this is because I've seen a lot of YouTube videos out here where people are talking about their experiences and how they're feeling, and watching a few of those videos have made me realize that I'm not alone. There are a lot of people out there that are going through the exact same thing I am going through, and I just feel like a way to spread awareness of depression and encouraging others out there who have depression is to put your story out there as well. Now, I'm not putting my entire story out there because it is extremely personal. I am making myself very vulnerable by talking about this, and I just feel like the only way I can start the healing process is being open with myself. And I have been on YouTube long enough that I have created amazing friendships and just a great community of subscribers that have just loved on me and encouraged me like every step of the way. And being open with myself will help me heal, and then I can also just read your lovely comments down below because they do mean the world to me. I've almost cried reading your comments because you guys are just so supportive and so loving. But back to the story. I've been home for a few days from the hospital. I have been to a few appointments. We're trying to get everything worked out just so I can move on smoothly with the rest of my life. Now, another thing that has changed is my next semester of school. Since my depression has gotten so bad, and you know, I have a long recovery process, is I cannot go to school, I cannot work. I have to remain here in St. Louis for at least 3 to 6 months dealing with my recovery plan. So I'm going to be in St. Louis for this next semester. I might do an online class, maybe 1 or 2 if it's okay, and if it's been prescribed by, hello my face, and if it's been okayed by a doctor that I'm well enough to be going to school. And you know, it's going to be interesting because I can't work. I am home from my apartment, so my parents, the amazing parents that they are helping me financially because I'm leaving Jessa J with an apartment by herself. So my parents are being very supportive and helping me financially with everything that's going on, because you know, being in a hospital for almost 3 weeks is not cheap, but I got the treatment that I needed. I am not fully recovered, you know, I'm still in the very beginning stages of recovery, and I'm still struggling emotionally and mentally. It's just going to be a long road, and I just wanted to be open with you guys on how I'm really feeling, because you know, I tried faking it for so long that I just became so emotionally and mentally exhausted, and I was crashing and becoming depressed and just feeling so worthless, and that thinking that there's other people out there like me who will take my place, and if it were in that, it would just be better if I was never around anymore. So it got to that point, and you know, I had a big wake-up call, you know, being in the hospital for almost 3 weeks, you know, thinking about, you know, what it means to live and having a purpose and just finding value in yourself, you know. Like, I'm in that point where I'm trying to figure out, you know, who I am and what is my purpose here, and you know, how I can impact the world by just being me. So that's basically where I'm at right now. I'm home from the hospital. I'm starting my aftercare plan. I'm starting my recovery with therapy, groups, speaking with a counselor, a psychiatrist. Like, I'm very new to all of this, and I just wanted to talk with my viewers and let them know how I'm really doing, because a lot of you have been asking, you know, like, where have I been? How am I doing? If I'm okay? And long story short, I am okay, but then again, I'm not okay. Lavinia is still here. I do plan on posting, but it's just going to be a tad bit of a different vibe, since now I am aware of my depression, and you know, I just don't really have much energy and excitement in life in my expressions as of right now. So I will be posting when I feel like I am well enough to post, such as this video. I got myself together, I got myself ready, I did my makeup and hair and everything, so I feel like I'm ready to go for the day. But I do have my parents here loving me, supporting me every single step of the way. And if I didn't have such amazing parents that I do have, I don't know where I would be. So I love you, Mom and Dad. You have been so gracious and so patient and so loving with me during this whole process. It's going to be a long recovery. It's going to be hard. It's going to be challenging, but in the end, I hope that it is worth it. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have any questions about anything that I said in this video, please comment down below, and introduce yourself as well. If you are new to my channel, I would love to know who you are and introduce myself as well. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. You can give it a like. You can subscribe if you want. I'm almost at 1,600 subscribers, which is amazing. So it just means the world to me that you guys care enough to subscribe and just become part of my story. So I love you guys so much. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.